2. The phenomenon in the Tathagata Store. The meditative study of all as unreal, or samapatti. The one mind being the source of both delusion and enlightenment. Purna Maitrayani Putra, who was in the assembly, rose from his seat, uncovered his right shoulder, knelt upon his right knee, reverently joined the palms of his hands, and said to the Buddha, "O august and world-honored one, you have revealed the Tathagata's profound meaning so well to all living beings. The Buddha has always declared that I surpass all men in preaching the Dharma, but as I now listen to his melodious and deep Dharma voice, I am like a deaf man, striving to hear flies and mosquitoes 100 feet away. He cannot see, still less can he hear them. In spite of what the Buddha taught to cut off our delusion, I fail to understand its ultimate meaning, which is altogether beyond me. World-honored one, it is reasonable that those like Ananda, who have merely opened their minds but have not cast away their worldly habits, do not understand it. But though I and others here have reached the state beyond the stream of transmigration, we are still not quite clear about the Dharma just taught by the Tathagata. World-honored one, if all things such as the sense organs and data, aggregates, entrances and fields of sense are fundamentally the pure and clean Tathagata Store, why does the latter suddenly create mountains, rivers, the great world, and all other forms that rise and fall in turn without interruption? The Tathagata has also spoken of the elements of earth, water, fire, and wind, whose natures mix and pervade the whole Dharma realm in which they remain all the time. World-honored one, if the element of earth was all-embracing, how could it contain the element of water? If the latter was all-pervading, there would be no fire. Then how can one be clear that these two elements pervade all space without destroying each other? World-honored one, the nature of earth is obstructive, while that of space is the reverse. How can both of them pervade the whole Dharma realm? I really do not understand. May the Tathagata be compassionate enough to enlighten me, and so dispel the clouds of my delusion." After saying this, he prostrated and eagerly awaited the holy teaching. The Buddha said to Purna Maitrayani Putra and all arhats in the assembly who had reached the state beyond samsaric transmigration and beyond further study, "The Tathagata now expounds the highest transcendental truth, so that those hearers with settled minds and arhats who have not yet realized that neither ego nor dharma exist and who seek reality will know the correct practice of the passionlessness of the supreme vehicle. Listen attentively to what I say." Purna Maitrayani Putra and the assembly kept silent, awaiting with reverence the Buddha's Dharma voice. The Buddha asked, "Purna Maitrayani Putra, you now ask why that which is fundamentally pure and clean suddenly created mountains, rivers, and great earth. But have you not heard the Buddha declare that self-natured Bodhi is absolute and enlightened, and that basic Bodhi is enlightened and absolute?" Purna Maitrayani Putra replied, "Yes, world-honored one, I have heard this." A probe into the disciples' understanding of noumenon and phenomenon to reveal the rise of illusions. The Buddha asked, "When you speak of Bodhi and enlightenment, do you mean that because of its enlightened nature you call it Bodhi, or because of its basic unenlightened nature you now call it enlightened Bodhi?" The real missed by cognizance of the false. Purna Maitrayani Putra said, "If that which is unenlightened is called Bodhi, it is not aware of anything." The three finer conditions of unenlightenment, basic ignorance, subject and object, the Buddha said, "You say that which is not aware of anything is not enlightened Bodhi, but that which creates an illusory object is unenlightened, and that which abstains from so doing is free from subjective awareness. The unenlightened is certainly not the clean nature of Bodhi, For self-natured Bodhi is essentially enlightened, but is mistaken for enlightened awareness. Bodhi is not that awareness of things, for such awareness sets up objects, and the setting up of illusory objects implies an illusory subject. The 6 coarser conditions of unenlightenment. Thus, from that which was beyond both identity and diversity arose all differences. When the differentiating subject confronted its differentiated objects, the resultant diversity led to identification. Identity and diversity further led to that which was neither the same nor different. These conflicting disturbances resulted in troubled perception, which in time gave rise to objective form. Self-created confusion, caused by clinging to names, caused karmic activity, and so suffering. That which manifested became the changing world, and that which was still was space. Hence, space stands for identity, and the world for diversity, and that which is neither the same nor different is a living being.